Bz-75. This vehicle is the Bz-75. It's a Chinese Tier 10 heavy tank in World of Tanks. The Bz tanks are very good heavy tanks. They do a lot of damage. The gun handling is poor. The turret armor is good, and they're slow. So the average damage is 650, which is really good. The Polish tank does 750, but 650 is going to be better than just about all these other tanks. In fact, it's about 25% better. The average penetration is 258, which is kind of average across all the tanks, which is what happens in Tier 10. Gold rounds is 315. It's good, but a lot of these tanks are going to be doing 315 or 330 or 340. The highest I've heard of is 420, which is the Yag Tiger E100 tank destroyer. So the gold rounds are nothing special. Gun loading, 17 seconds. It takes a long time to load that gun because it does a lot of damage. That's how they balance it out. Gun dispersion, -8. Aiming time, 2.78. That's slow. It's low. 2.4 is kind of average. 2.2 is kind of average. The good aim time is the 1.73. 2.78 is slow because it does a lot of damage along with the 60 TP, so it's one of the worst aim time. That's why I say the gun handling is poor. Dispersion is 0.4, which is bad. 0.32 is amazing. 0.33, 0.34 is pretty good. 0.4 is bad. Hit points, 2,500, which is above average. The hull armor is 200, which is good. It's above average. The turret armor is 330, which is above average. The engine power is 800. Nothing special about that. See, for example, we got these that are 1,200 or 950. The top speed is 30, which is slow. A lot of these vehicles are doing 40, 50, going across. With the booster, it's 45, which means you're going to be better than a lot of these vehicles. You get 6. You can use the booster 6 times for 10 seconds each. So, to recap, good damage, average penetration, poor gun handling, excellent armor, poor aim time, poor dispersion, slow. Booster mechanic, which allows you to ram. You're probably going to be able to ram just about everything with the Tier 10, except for the super heavies. You'll be able to ram them in the front and do damage. So you're going to want your driver to have the skill for ramming to get the extra ramming damage. I'm going to look at this vehicle. Got a crew of 4, commander, gunner, driver, loader. All the BZs, all 4 of them, use the same crew members. You don't have to worry about adding one or losing one. See, the driver sits in the front. It's got a V-shaped hull, which means your angling is going to be different. Like normally I would say angle your vehicle, but because it's got the V-shape, not the V-shape hull, but the V-shape in the front, the piked hull they call it, it's going to affect your angling. So over here you've got 2 places for the people that sit in the turret, which is going to be the commander, the loader, and the gunner. See, there's a little hole over here. It could be the gun sight, or it could be this. It looks like there's a gun sight coming out of this hole, but that could also be a machine gun. I don't know for sure. The commander, I would guess, operates the machine gun. Got the viewport in the back, so that's probably the commander, which means the loader is going to be on this side over here. So if you want to hit the loader, you got to hit him over here on this side. But it could be the commander. Don't know. It looks like there's a lot more viewports over here. It just doesn't have one in the rear. And anything that is external to the armor, you see how these lights are external to the armor? That means that you can't penetrate that. The hooks on the front are external to the armor. These, I think, are smoke grenades. You got a little hatch. They put the ammo through that hatch, probably. This is either for... You see in the back, there's like this circular thing. It's either for the gun barrel, or sometimes they have like a little crane that you could put the ammo through, but I'm guessing it's for the gun barrel. Yeah, it looks like it's for the gun barrel. And I don't see anything else. This is obviously not part of the hitbox because it's external to the armor. So, to recap with these vehicles, number one, this is one of the best vehicles in the game, with the exception of the average penetration and the poor gun handling. So, you're going to survive in this game. You're going to last longer because your armor is really good. So people are going to use it in ranked battles because they want to last longer in the game. The turret armor is one of the best in the game. 330 turret armor for tier 10. That means that it's better than a lot of the gift and reward tanks like the Object 279E, the Object 260, and the top turret armors in the game. This is one of the top turret armors in the game. Beats out 95% of the tier 10 tanks. The lower hull armor is also extremely good. It beats out almost every vehicle in the game. So if you're doing damage blocked by armor, this is one of the tanks you're going to want to use to do it. It's a tech tree vehicle. With the gold rounds, you're going to be a little bit below everybody else. However, it's going to be difficult against tier 10 tanks, even with the gold rounds, against the frontal armor. And the tier 9, it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy. Because with the gold rounds, actually with the gold rounds it's going to be okay, but with the regular rounds, it's going to be a little bit difficult. You're going to only penetrate half the time. With the gold rounds, you should be fine. However, you're not going to penetrate the top vehicles like the other BZ-75s. You're going to be able to ram with this vehicle using the jet booster mechanic. So, again, get the driver skill for ramming. And look at anything to protect your suspension durability. Remember, it's a Chinese tank. They tend to catch on fire when you hit them from the front. And it's if you get ammo racked all the time, look at the equipment for the durability. Anything that reduces engine fires and ammo racks. Okay, so I highly recommend this tank in the tech tree for China. You've got the WZ-111-5A and the BZ-75. WZ-111-5A used to be one of the best tanks in the game. And there's also the 113, which is in the collector's vehicles, which used to be the best heavy tank in the game. You might want to consider, if you're going to spend your credits, the 113, because it's got good specifications. I'm going to look real quick. Turret armor is 290. The penetration 249. It doesn't have the gold rounds, obviously. So that's what it used to be. 290 used to be really good. The aim time 2.68 and the dispersion is pretty good. The gun handling is pretty good. So I would say go with the BZ. Get the BZ-75. Do the BZ line. All of these vehicles are better than the WZ line. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.